James, when you got to go to the podium. There are going to be nights where you talk a lot because you have a lot to say, and there are going to be nights where you don't feel like it. Tonight's one of those nights, and hard to blame him.
Well, I mean,
Said he knew in the first 2 minutes.
I think a coach knows better than anybody that out of 82 games, you're going to have one. Win or lose, he may be still a little bit disappointed in how the team played, regardless of who was on the floor. But there were nights where there's nothing to say. We saw what happened, and so I guess he just wants to get on and move on to the next one. Looked a little disappointed in some things, but that's just the way it is some nights.
Yeah, I mean, what makes, in my opinion, what makes JJ really, really unique and fit for this particular job at this moment is like his obsessive personality around, like as an NBA player, I see a lot of similarities in like, you're not uniquely gifted and talented in a way that a lot of other guys are. Yeah. There's a gap between you and your better teammates. And the way you equalize that is just through like every single night. You find a way to bring max effort, max focus, attention to detail, game plan discipline, because that's the only way you can stay on the floor if you're not a top 75 guy. And I think his disappointment is coming from that. That there weren't enough guys that could find something tonight that would allow them to put that uniform on and really bring it. Not the win or loss, but that part is what, to me, frustrates and hurts him.
Yeah, well said. All right, Jake LaRavia with 13 points. He's at the podium. Lose 122-102. Fish, I believe you're doing a little Fish's Focus breakdown. What do you got?
Yeah, we just found that out. That's about to roll into some Fish's Focus.
Let's do it, Fish. Do some Fish's Focus with your beautiful tie and pocket square.
Let's go. We're going to bring the energy tonight, man. We're going to make up for lack of energy in ATL. All good.
Yes, Fish.
Middle pick and roll. They call this a Spain pick and roll, I'm assuming, because maybe in Spain that's where they originated. But as these guys are trying to navigate all this traffic, right? Back turn. Luka just sees Jackson rolling and attacks the middle of the defense, gets to a spot, pulls up to shoot. Here, call this a boomerang, big game. Throw it, and then you get it right back. Allow the defense to get set, and then now he's just reading. Empty side ball screen here. Nobody there to rotate. As soon as Luka comes off and he sees this guy up, you see how he put a little bit more air on the ball because he knew there was nobody there to rotate. Easy knockdown three for Jake LaRavia in this situation. Here, a little sideline out of bounds, kind of turns into a zoom action. And then once he turns, again, we talked about this a lot. This is tight end and wide receiver. He jumps in the air, free safeties, comes out. He throws it to the guy, the tight end over the middle. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Watch how this almost mirrors the same decisions. Same type of action, zoom action, handoff, two guys on the ball, and he's reading this. Same guy that just got burned on this one's like, nope, I'm not giving this one up this time. So he looks him off with his eyes, throws it out to Rui, late contest, knocks down the three. That was pretty much all in the Luka's day-to-day decision-making.
Breakdown.
I mean, what else can we do?
Fish.
That's Luka Doncic. We saw some of that tonight. Didn't lead to a win, but hopefully on this road trip we get some W's.
Fish, that breakdown was fantastic. Big game. I want to ask you about something Jake LaRavia said. He said the first group is supposed to set the tone. We did not do that tonight. We have to do it on Monday night.
He's a smart man. First guys on the floor are always the tone setters, and it sets the tone for the guys watching. So if the guys who are on the bench watching, how the tone is set, if it's not set properly, then they're coming in thinking that they have to set it and do more than they should. So it just becomes a hurry up and catch up situation. Going to have those throughout the season, but Jake is right. They didn't match the energy of a young Atlanta team who's been itching to get on the floor and have some minutes out there.
Fish, as a coach, there are games, and we say this all the time, where you flush it. JJ said, no, we are going to look at it. This seems, especially early in the season, especially when you start 7-2, and as James said, you overachieve with a lot of guys out, and everyone's feeling really good. This could be an absolute learning tool. This is something you got to show them.
Yeah, JJ knows his team. He understands his guys. I think it's early probably for it to be a flush you type of thing because you're still building those habits that winning teams need to build night in and night out. So sounds like he's not going to let them quite get away with just saying it was one of those nights.
Yeah.
A lot of things to learn from, even in wins, that you can go back and review, and they'll take a look at this one and allow it to improve them on the course of this road trip.
All right, the Lakers fall 122-1.
Do you feel that on the floor, and do you feel like there's a reason you guys weren't able to find it like you have the previous several games?
Yeah, I mean, it's always up to that first group to come out and kind of set the tone, and I just don't think, we really did that today. We kind of came out and got punched in our mouth and didn't really have an answer for it. They just outplayed us at the end of the day. We struggled defensively. We had some turnovers that were, not very good, and they were scoring off the turnovers, which obviously doesn't help. At the end of the day, it's really just up to that first group that starts to come out and set the tone, and we just got to do a better job of that.
You understand these games do happen sometimes in the NBA, but do you still, do you hold yourself to a higher standard of it? Do you are kind of eager for the next one? How do you make sure it doesn't happen again?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to learn from it and move on. You got to understand that, this isn't the identity of this team. This game was an outlier of, the first 10 games that we've played. And, just to not let it break us, we're just going to come right back the next game and be ready to play.
And then just for kind of find one specific thing, like defensively, was it the back line? Was it the lack of help, just with them getting downhill so much and getting in the paint? Why was that happening?
Yeah, this is just a team that cuts a lot off ball and just tries to get to the paint. And they had a really good shooting night the whole night, especially that first half. But yeah, team defensively and individually, we just weren't there.
Jake, in terms of pre-game energy, did you feel something like this coming on, or was it just didn't show up in the first 2 minutes?
No, I mean, I don't think we ever go into a game where we either, we knew that they had guys out, but I don't think we're ever going into the game underestimating, the team that we're playing against. We knew they were going to come out and play hard. We kind of knew what their game plan was going to be. We just didn't come out and execute what ours was supposed to be.
I know you guys have been really proud of the connection you guys have built so far in these types of games when things aren't going well very early. How do you try to lean on your teammates to figure something out, find some sort of spark?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to communicate at the end of the day. This was a tough game. Again, this is kind of just one of those games where the other team just kind of had it going, and we just couldn't find a way to kind of get over that hump. But when you find yourselves in these situations, you just can't let it break the team up and stop communicating with everyone. So you just got to communicate and make sure everyone stays locked in, which we didn't. But
Lakers kicked off their 5-game road trip with a